So this morning we're off to catch the metro out to RHO FIERA, where all of the different halls make up the Salone del Mobile, and this year there's also Luce. So we'll be pounding the hall pavement and searching out for the new designs and also the core key big brands in the design world. RHO FIERA is quite a new thing. Years and years ago, the actual main fair used to be in the centre of the city. But basically, because the fair each year was just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, they basically grew out of that initial space. So they created a whole new city called RHO, but it is extremely far away. So it's the designer mercy mission to get out there. Milan travel tip number 1, during design week when you're getting the metro to RHO, always go to the end of the platform so that you can breathe, as opposed to all these people who can't. I think in total the numbers are about 600 to 800,000 people come to this particular fair, so it's the biggest trade fair in the world. Basically the press entrance is on the south side, and this entire building is so large you have to get a bus. You know what? Let's get a taxi. Climbed up this tower to get a real bird's eye view of Salon Satellite, which basically is a whole series of young designers in little cubes scattered all throughout this area. So this particular section is the most exciting section, I think, of all of the Fiera. Young designers come from all over the world. They fork out quite a large fee to be able to exhibit here, and the percentage rate of being either picked up by a manufacturer or picked up by a big brand is actually quite minimal. So they've really got to have their heart and soul into it. It's a real true spot to discover something new. So I'm with Norwegian designer Siren, who's actually based in Berlin. So tell me about these lights that you pull like a lawnmower. I'm very intrigued.
Yeah, it's a mobile lamp for the home. Inspired actually by these old candles that you used to bring around in the home. And
when you're in the little white nightie.
Yeah, but I think it's very nice that light doesn't have to have one place in the home, that you have a lamp that you like and you can use it in the kitchen or you can use it in the bedroom, and it doesn't really have to be at one spot all the time.
A nouveau torch almost.
Yes.
And then do you store it basically on this sort of beautiful hat stand?
Yeah, so you have your base as other lamps, but it doesn't have to be at the base all the time. And sometimes the stand or the base can be empty because the lamp is somewhere else, and then you can use that also as a coat hanger in the meantime.
So you don't lose the light.
Yeah.
Little home for it. Now tell me about this piece as well. It's a seat that you can basically wrap around a tree, so if you're picnicking out and about, you can have your own little mobile seat, especially if the grass is wet.
Yeah, it could be wet, it could be dirty, it could be taken. The idea is that you always have your own seats.
So it rolls up, so you can basically put it in your picnic basket or put it in your bag.
In one direction it's flexible, and in the other direction the wooden pieces makes it stable.
It's very clever. Now let's talk about the piece de resistance in the corner here. I'm very intrigued by this knitting clock. I had a little bit of an insider who told me to come and find you. So tell me about this.
Yeah, it's a clock that's showing the time in a new way, because the idea was to get away from the numbers, because we use numbers to understand things that we can't really explain, and time is really one of the things that we only understand in numbers. This clock was made to make that clearer, or just show how time works. So it's knitting a year at a time. One round is one day. It starts here at 0. This is midnight. So you have like the 4 coordinates up, down, and both sides, which is 12, 12, and 6, 6.
Basically, this will stitch you up a scarf for 365 days, and then at the end of that, you can walk around with your entire year on your shoulders.
That's right. And if you're lucky, you can buy some more time for the next year.
It's very clever.
And then you can have a new color for the next year.
Scarf for each year. A little montage on the wall. Well, great. It's very, very clever. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.